Okay, this is going to be a multi-part video, and we're going to be looking at the controller. So in front of us is the controller that we're going to learn how to draw. And it's quite elaborate, so we'll break it down. So the first step we're going to do is draw a square. And the intent of the square is to make sure that we're roughly the right size. So 130 by 90 is a reasonable size controller, just so that it can be printed out. And typically we can make the outside box as a construction box. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Google and we're going to grab a shape that you want. Okay, so we want to go outline of game controller, and we'll go to images. So now I'm not a person that plays video games, so I don't know what you guys would choose, but let's choose this one here. So we're going to do a right click on the object and we're going to copy the image. Maybe save the image. So I need to save it somewhere where I'm going to remember. So on my desktop, I will call this game controller. Excuse me, 1. So now I'm going to open up a website that you've used with the chess pieces called Convertio. And so this is going to take the image that we've put on the desktop. So where's our desktop? Game controller. We're going to convert it to an SVG and hit convert. Sometimes this takes longer. So the reason we do this is so that we can create something that's modifiable in Fusion 360. So I've hit download. I've got the SVG file. I'm going to copy it from its present location, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to create a folder that has SVGs in it. So this happens to be in the desktop. And it's important that you guys remember this file format because that's the file format that works best. Okay, so now I know where the object is, and I can go back to Fusion. Okay, so I've got my square that is, actually I don't have it. So it was 130 by 90. Okay, so now I can go to Insert, and I can go VGA. I'm going to go insert from computer. I'm going to look at the desktop is where I stored it. And I just click on it and I hit open. And sometimes it's a mess, sometimes it's good. So the blue square is going to allow you to move it wherever you want. The little half moon crescent is going to help you resize it. And so between working with all those different controls, you should be able to get it somewhere in the box. And it doesn't have to be perfectly in the box. Okay, once it's okay, you can click on the OK insert. And at this point we can delete this box around it if we want, just by selecting all the sides and deleting it. The only reason we had that was just to get it to the point where it's reasonably sized. Okay, so at this point we can start cleaning it up. So it's perfectly editable, changeable. So one of the things I'd like to do is select some of the objects that we won't be needing and just delete them. Now, if you select from left to right, it's different than if you select from right to left. So typically I want to use the left to right selection, and I can break this line, follow it along. You don't actually have to clean it all up, but it is nice to have your shape. Okay, so we have our outline. At this point we should probably save it just because we've done some work to it. I'm going to put it in a folder called hand controller. So this is going to, sometimes I just name things by the date. So this is the March the 6th, and you can put in hand controller. Hit save. Okay, so now we're going to probably take away some of the shape of it. So I don't know if it's going to be symmetrical or not. If we wanted to make it symmetrical, we could cut it in half and get rid of half. So the way you do that is hover over the origin, and so that it clicks on the center line, and then you just make a line that'll create a center line, and then you can delete half of it if you want. Now if you use scissors, you can cut to that line. Okay, so at this point we can maybe take the highest point of the shape so maybe there, bring it over. Now for this, anytime you're drawing a line and you want it to be flat, you just got to look at the degrees. So it's either going to be 0, 90, 80, or 270. So in this case, the line was 180. So we need to get rid of this stuff because we're going to have to put the switches in and the battery holder. So we're going to need the whole space. So then the last line is the bottom one. So we're going to hover on that point. We're going to bring it across. Start on this line, and then you can overshoot it. It's kind of a good habit to overshoot, which seems weird, but you're just more likely to have an intersection if you overshoot your lines. Okay, and you can cut the top and bottom. If you have any questions, just zoom in and sort of take a look at it. And so in this case, I've got a choice of a curved line to delete and a straight line. So that's going to give us a curve for the outside. So now if you wanted to mirror it, you just select all the objects that you want to mirror. And then you select the line that you want to mirror it. And so now you've got a very symmetrical game controller. You're going to choose which shape you want. Obviously you wouldn't choose this one. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape to get out. I'm going to make this center line a construction line, and that way it all selects as one. Okay, so maybe that's the first part of this video, is just getting the controller shape to be the point where you can actually use it. So I'm going to stop right here, and then we'll start the next part in a second.